Hi friends, I'm happy to see you again, and today we're gonna make a pasta recipe because here in Toronto summer is almost over and the autumn days are coming, so I wanted to make a mix between something nice for summer but also something cozy for the rainy and cold days. So I hope you like this recipe. Hi. Well, we need an onion for this recipe. So I got a really big onion, as you can see. This is just half. So for the recipe, we actually need half an onion, but I'm gonna cook it all. And then you can use the extra onion for during the week because we're gonna caramelize the onion. So it's really nice with eggs or if you put it on top of rice, anything. So here we have our onion. I like my big knife. And we are gonna slice it. And then when you have this, it's gonna take you like 5 minutes, but you're gonna take some pieces and then you're gonna cut them so we can have little squares and everything is even. So I'm gonna finish this and I'll see you a little later. Now here I have some pinmeal bacon. I really like this one. I don't know if this is Canadian, like traditionally Canadian, but I really like it. We used to use it at school and I really love it. So I'm gonna use this one, but you can actually use any type of ham that you like. Also sausage or anything. This is like the flavor of the pasta, so you can use anything you prefer. We're gonna slice it. One slices. And then we're gonna cut it in little squares. Should look like this. And I'm gonna put it inside a dish. We're gonna leave it inside the fridge while we cook everything else. Here I have my pan and we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And look, now that I live alone, I get everything smaller. So look, this is so beautiful. It's the size of my hand. So here we're gonna add the tablespoon of oil and then we're gonna add the onions. Let it get a little hot and then we add the onions. So now we're gonna cook the onion until it looks brown. I'm gonna cook it at medium temperature, not too high because we don't want to burn it. We just want it brown. I don't know if you can hear, but the onion is still cooking. So in the meanwhile, here I have a wine because we are gonna use 80 milliliters of the wine to make the recipe nicer. Because that's one of the best tips I learned during my studies, is that if you want to make something fancier, you need to add wine, cream, cheese, or butter. And we're adding butter too to the recipe, so it's gonna be nice. And that's the point of this recipe, to make something easy but also very nice. So this is more like a comfort food that is also healthy. So let's go to the recipe. And as I was saying, this is a pasta with a white sauce, so I'm gonna use a white wine. I got this one to try it for the week. You can use any kind of white wine, but we're gonna use this one today. Remember, we need only 80 milliliters, but that's also a good tip. Like with my friends the other day, that's what we did. We got a wine to try it, but we didn't finish it. So we're planning to get together today to make some meat with wine sauce. That's the point. You can use your wine with different stuff. As you can see, the onions are changing color a little bit after 1 or 2 minutes. And we're gonna move them a little bit so they don't burn, but they need to cook longer. As you can see, it's getting there. It's getting a nice brown color. You need to keep moving it a little bit. Not all the time, but like leave it 1 minute and then move it again until it's pretty and brown. It's gonna take around 5 or 6 minutes. You can see now it's really brown and pretty, and I'm gonna add now 1 tablespoon of butter. I like this one because it's already seasoned, but you can use regular butter if you want. I like to do it like this so the oil cooks evenly the onion, because if you start with the butter, it usually burns if you do it long like this. That needs to be 5 to 6 minutes. So now when it's almost ready, we're gonna add the butter. Here it is. We're gonna move it around and we're gonna cook it around 1 to 2 more minutes. Now this is the color we wanted. If you want, you can leave it like 1 or 2 more minutes, but for me it's fine. It was here around 3 minutes, so it's looking perfect. Now we're gonna take it out and let it rest. Here in the same pan, I added a little bit more butter, and now we're gonna cook the pea bacon. This is the same step if you're using sausage, ham, anything you like. Even prosciutto would be nice if you like it super fancy, but we're just gonna cook it. As you see, the color is changing, but I like it more dark. At this point, we can use a little bit of salt, and if you want, black pepper too, just a tiny bit. By the way, for salt, there's different kind of salts, but I like this one. It's the pink Himalayan one. I feel if you actually pay attention, every salt has a different flavor, so that's the one I like. See, this is what I like, crispy. Okay, this looks perfect, so I'm gonna put it in a dish and reserve it. And now we're gonna make the sauce. Now I'm going to make the pasta. This is the pasta I'm gonna use, but you can use any you like. And we're gonna add some salt to the water. It's not an exact measure, but I would say like a teaspoon. And making a small amount because I live alone and I like fresh pasta. So whenever I make this pasta, it's usually just for the day. But if you want it to last longer or you want it for several people, then you can make it per 2 or per 3. But the same ingredients, just a bigger quantity. Now that it's boiling, I'm gonna add my pasta. I'm gonna let it boil until it's ready, al dente. Our pasta is ready. Now we're gonna take it out of the water and we can make the sauce. My pasta, I'm gonna cover it so it doesn't get like weird. And this is my flour. It's the same size of my hand. I told you because I live alone I need small stuff, and because we just need 1 tablespoon. It's exactly 20 grams what we need for the recipe, but it's the size of my hand and it's 1 kilogram. It's a little hard to film with one hand, but this is 20 grams of butter that melted super fast because the pot was kind of hot. And here we have 20 grams of flour. And we're gonna make a roux. A roux, it's like a little piece of dough, like this, that is gonna help our sauce to get thick. And I'm cooking it very low, so it doesn't burn. Here I have the roux. As you see, it's all integrated. Some people like to cook it more so the flavor is more deep, but I like it like this. So this is good enough. And we're gonna add our milk. Little by little. And we're gonna start integrating it. We don't want bumps in the milk, so you need to be very careful in this part. Little by little. Also be mindful about the edges. We don't want it to burn. So be careful to mix everything perfect. Little by little it's gonna look more like a sauce, as you can see. Right now it looks like mashed potatoes, but with all the milk we're gonna get a nice sauce. It's getting very thick. Now I added all the milk. I'm gonna finish cooking it. This is the consistency we want. Looks so perfect. This is a bechamel. It's a white sauce. And now we can add our spices. Looks like it has a little bit of things because I told you my butter have already spices, but we're gonna use a teaspoon of white pepper. We're gonna use a little bit of bay leaves. I really love bay leaves. We're gonna use like 2. And salt. So, right now I turn the heat off because if you keep cooking it, it's gonna get thicker. So, here, maybe another one. Because that one was small. White pepper. And we're gonna add the onions. Right now I'm gonna do it just by the look of it, but you can add as many onions as you want. I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons probably. And the rest you can save it because we made a lot. You can save it for the week, for your eggs, your breakfast, your sandwiches, whatever you want. And salt. We almost forget the salt. Also, we're gonna add our wine. We're gonna mix it and we're gonna cook it like 3 more minutes so everything gets integrated. And also, you need to cook your wine so it doesn't taste very super alcoholic. And as you see, the sauce is getting very watery. So if you cook it a little more, then we get the same consistency we had before. We're gonna cook it at medium for around 2 minutes. But it's gonna be ready when you see the consistency change and we have the sauce that we had before. So remember, you need these two. Another one wouldn't work that good because we need to mix it and also scrape the borders so nothing burns. While it cooks, you can also taste it and add more salt, white pepper, anything you want to make the flavor better. Forgot, at this point you can also add your bacon. This is what we were looking for. It's thick like before. It was here around 3 to 4 minutes, but you can mix it between medium heat and low heat, but you need to be very careful. It's gonna be ready when you find the right consistency. Now, just to finish, we add our pasta and we mix. This is the final result. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna drink it with the same wine we used for the pasta because that was also a tip chefs gave us at college, that usually it's a good combination to drink the wine with the food you prepare with it. It usually pairs good. That's like an easy tip if you want to start drinking more wine. But yeah, I'm really happy with the result. So I hope you really like this recipe. It was very nice. I just tried it and it's very good. So I hope you like this video, you make this pasta at home, and I'll see you another time.